Good morning. Just sitting here at the computer this morning, getting some receipts wrote up, ready to email. Uh, One of those days I just like to go back to bed. Of course, as I get older, every day is just about like that. But anyway, I'm up and about. So today, I want to talk to you about what do you do. Um, what do you do when you have an upset client that is not happy with your work? How do you handle it? And how do you deal with it? If you've been in this business long enough, you're going to have people who are unhappy with your work. I can remember two pretty recent. I'm sorry for the lighting. It's like I said, I've only had one cup of coffee this morning, so at least you get the gist of this. So I can remember two I've had in the last couple of years that were, excuse me, unhappy. One was a manager of a one of these fitness places you go in, they lead you in exercises and stuff. and she had five of these things that hooked on the wall, a big giant rope run through, like a U-bolt, but it's like a 1 inch U-bolt. So she wanted those attached to the wall, and above it they had little hangers for the rope when it was done. Apparently, you get these ropes and you stand back and they're pretty long, and you're supposed to do the wave or whatever. Well, I asked her. I said, okay, this was a commercial building, so it had half-inch sheetrock or 5/8 sheetrock with steel studs. Um, and I said, look, option A is to put toggle bolts in here because these things come with those chintzy little plastic um, adapter things. I forgot what they're called now. And they don't hold squat. So I said, look, obviously there's not supposed to be any weight put on these things because they send these little plastic um, um, screw. I can't even think what they're called now. But anyway, you know what they are. It's like your towel bar. Your little plastic thing you screw into, push in the sheetrock, and it comes right back out. Those things. So she goes, oh no, there's no weight on these things. They just stand back, they use the ropes, and when we're done, we hang them up. I said, okay, because if there's much weight at all, I said, I'm not going to use these plastic um, inserts that these things came with. I said, I'll get some toggle bolts. I went and got 3/8 toggle bolts, and each of those things are rated for like 150 or 200, 175, someplace in there. And so each of these things had four of them on there, and then the holders for the rope had four. So anyway, I put all those on. 2 weeks later, I get an email. My boss is unhappy with your work. She sends me a picture. One of those pulled out of the wall. Man, that had to be some very high weight pull four toggle bolts out of 5/8 sheetrock. And she wanted her. My boss wants his money back. Sorry, more than once, and I had witnesses. You were perfectly happy with my work when I left, and this is what you wanted, and you told me no uncertain terms that there would be no weight put on these, and obviously somebody puts a great deal of weight on these. So she sent me the message, and I just replied, I can come back and I can and fix these where you can put some weight on them, more weight than what 400 pounds or whatever those toggle bolts are rated for, but it's going to cost a lot more. So she replied, no, we just want our money back. I said, I'm sorry, I did the job that you asked for, and this is what you got. I said, I'm sorry if somebody abused this, but I'm not responsible for that. I got right back with her, didn't wait. Second lady, I've done several jobs for her, including a renovation on her remodel. And she's an older lady, always been kind of difficult, but I felt sorry for her. Well, she had wanted a small picket fence built at her house. So she didn't want me to demo it. Apparently I was too high on the demo estimate. She had someone demo, and they demoed it down to the dirt. It's bare dirt. So I went in, built a little 30 or 32 inch picket fence, a little bitty picket fence, and painted it and all that. Well, loved it, telling all my friends, blah, blah, blah. 3 or 4 months later, she calls and says, "What kind of paint did you use on this fence?" I said, "Oh, I used exterior white paint." "Well, it's no good." I'm thinking to myself, paint's falling off the fence, right? Why? "Well, mud's sticking to it, and I've never had mud sticking to my old one." "Well, you didn't have mud stick to your old one because it was rotted, falling down." I said, "Well, ma'am, I told you at the time I put that up that you needed a ground cloth and some sod there to prevent this exact thing." "Well, mud shouldn't be sticking to this fence." She goes, "Do you expect me to go out and clean mud off it every time it rains?" "No, but I do expect you to put a ground cloth down and put some sod down to prevent this." I said, "As long as you have bare dirt, this is going to happen." So she said, "Okay." So 2 more months went by and her son started calling. She had her son calling me. "Well, this ain't right. You didn't do this right. I don't know what kind of paint you used, but mud's sticking to it." Explain the same thing to him. Some people just ain't going to get it. And this is why you really need to kind of validate people before you take on a project. Talk to them, see, if they're the kind that they're always a victim. I don't work for those people no more. If you do have a complaint, be honest with yourself. Was it something I did? Because if it's something I did, and I told the lady with the fence, I said, "Look, I'll come back out, and if it's the paint, I'll repaint it. No cost, no charge." I told her son that. I said, "I'll come out there and look at it." I said, "But I know," I said, "you have nothing to stop the mud from splashing up when it rains." I said, "It's not the paint's fault." I said, "It's good paint." I said, "I use it on my house. I've used it on almost every exterior job." Never heard back from him. He never asked me to come out, just never heard. And sometimes that's all they want. They just want you to hear what they have to say and explain things to them. So if you get a complaint, address it immediately. Don't let it go on. People hate to be put off. You hate to be put off, and when you think you've been wrong, other people hate to be put off when they think they've been wrong. Get to them, address their concerns, and if it was your fault, man up, fix it out of your pocket. Now, like that first example, if lady had told me, "Yeah, there's going to be people pulling on these ropes and stuff like that," and I went ahead and put toggle bolts in and they pulled out, I'd been back fixing it. But she, in no uncertain terms, several times said there'll be no weight on these. These people are just going to be using these ropes. And said, "Okay." She goes, "This will be fine. I love it, blah, blah, blah." Okay, well, they obviously somebody abused it. So, and she wanted me to fix it. It's not happening. I gave you exactly what you want. I gave you an option for the higher one at the time that would hold weight. You didn't take that because it was a heck of a lot higher. So anyway, when you get a disgruntled person, and sometimes you're not going to please nobody no matter what you do, but you need to at least address their concerns, try to find out if it was your fault, and handle it. Most people respect that. The last thing you want a disgruntled customer doing is going to Facebook or BBB or something like that and just trashing your name. And if that happens, you better have some backup, proof, pictures, video of your work. That's why I take pictures and video of every job I do, no matter how small. Why he painted it white and I said I wanted blue. Picture, white. That's what you said. That's why I also have a contract specifying every little thing you do. Customer wants white paint on 2 walls and blue paint on the 3 other walls. Um, specify. So there, I know this video's running long, but I just, so many people just blow off their customers, and then wonder why they get trashed on social media and stuff. This is why. This is why. You don't take care of your customers, you don't man up, take responsibility, and you usually get what you got coming to you. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short. My little red light's blinking, it's fixing to run out of storage. So anyway, Donald, for Blue Collar DIY, remember, take care of your customers, even if they're mad. Yes, I know some you can't take care of, but go out of your way to take care of them, and they'll take care of you. Catch you on down the road.